So just one more quick thing I want to cover, which I didn't cover in part 3. So we'll call this Athearn LED upgrade 3.5, part 3.5. Once I get all the wires determined for 14 volt common and then the 2 wires that go to each resistor, I lay those out pretty much like this for all the locomotives that I do. So these are the 2 wires that go to the headlight resistors, which are right here. These are the 2 wires right here from the ditch lights that are going to go to your F5, F6 function. If you want wigwags or alternating ditch lights, you're going to want to do one resistor to F5, one resistor to F6. That way you'll have that function where if you want your grade crossing wigwag on the ditch lights. For my application, I just did both resistors to F5 or F6 because I just use constant brightness on my LEDs for my ditch lights. I don't wigwag them or alternate. And then for the rear, this is the 2 that go to the resistors. So one wire go one resistor, one wire goes to the other resistor. Same with the front, same with your ditch lights. Don't hook both wires up to one resistor. Each LED needs its own resistor. And then all the 14 volt common wires I bundled together. They go right here. I just used a small clothespin to hold them all together and keep them out of my way. Those will get a little bit of flux, dab with some solder just to hold them all together. And that gets soldered to the 14 volt common wire that we attach to the board. I might shorten this a little bit. It is a little long. And the other thing you want to make sure you do is you add heat shrink tubing before you solder. And I'm talking from experience. So you make sure you have some of your heat shrink tubing on there before you solder, then that will slide over the connection, and you can use the part of your soldering iron heat to just kind of shrink that down. But I don't know how many times I've soldered wires together and forgot to put the heat shrink on. Not good. So luckily they do make some liquid heat shrink that saved the day for me, and I didn't have to chop it up and redo it. But it's kind of important to make sure these things get on. And then I have 6 smaller connections for heat shrink, not connections, but just the heat shrink that'll go over the wires before I solder them, and then that will slide down and cover the connection I make on each resistor. Okay, so I just want to make sure I covered that because I didn't mention that in the last video. That question might have come up. So the biggest thing here is your F5, F6 functions. You just want to, if you want wigwagging ditch lights, you're going to have to do one resistor to F5, one to F6. If you just want standard always on or off, you can do it to just one function. You could do it with F5, F6 function, it doesn't matter. Once you get in there and program it, you can pretty much do whatever you want. So yeah, that was it. I just wanted to cover that real quick. Alright, thanks for watching.